In homes across the country, an all-too familiar dilemma continues to rage.
I just can't bear the thought of moving.
It's just too small.
Maybe I get my way this time.
We need to move. Otherwise, I'll go mad.
But worry not. Help is on the way.
As the reigning champion, I'm determined to hang on to my crown.
You ready, Phil?
Bring it on.
All the kitchen should be back in there.
Oh, my goodness me. It's no secret that I believe that moving home is often the best answer.
Look at the view.
Whereas I think that with hard work
Wow.
and creative flair,
You could already be living in your dream home.
So while Kirsty's working her magic inside,
Blimey, O'Reilly.
I'm on a mission.
To prove your perfect home is just a move away. Back and go.
Shall we go down and do the deal?
But when the dust has settled,
And harmony is restored.
who will emerge victorious?
this week we help a couple cracking under the pressure,
We need to move, otherwise I will go mad.
who've lost that loving feeling for their home
So, yes, Kirsty, we need your help.
And while Kirsty's creativity fails to fire,
I'm struggling, Phil.
Shame.
Oh, Jack.
Sorry, did I say that?
I'm hitting home runs.
Their build shines new light on the situation.
It makes the sky such a feature of the house.
That leaves victory on a tightrope.
Are you going to love it?
Or are you going to list it?
Today, we're south of London, in the town of Caterham in Surrey.
Guess who was born in Caterham? And I know you like him.
Go on.
Bill Nye.
Oh,
I knew. He's a cool dude, isn't he?
brilliant, Bill.
You know, his career didn't take off till he was like,
No.
60s or something.
No. Well, Love Actually was a huge thing. He was always a
great
well-respected actor.
Right.
But Love Actually was a
Yeah.
huge thing for him. Left or right? What's the sat-nav saying? Right, OK, I've missed it. OK, so I shall circle round.
And we're not the only ones going round in circles.
I'll sweep up.
Do that bit there.
Ruth and Ken can't decide what to do with their 3-story townhouse.
I want to list this house. It's very dark, it's cold.
I can see Ruth's point, but I feel the house has potential for improvement.
I don't think I could carry on living here. We need to move. Otherwise, I'll go mad.
This love it or list it dilemma has reached crisis point. Ken works in admin and Ruth teaches British Sign Language.
I need help with holding the measuring tape.
OK,
They married 13 years ago, and with a large blended family, they needed a home big enough for everyone. But now, all the kids have flown the nest.
I feel the house is too big. We don't need 4 bedrooms. The layout isn't right for us. The lounge is upstairs. I want the kitchen, dining room and living room to be on the same floor. I don't want them on different floors.
With the main living areas separated by a staircase, it can be difficult for the couple to get each other's attention.
There could be times when I'm working and Ruth might turn on and off the lights to get my attention to say, come and help.
And sometimes I text you and I'm waiting ages because you don't even look at the text message. You're too fixated with the computer. It's not deaf-friendly. Everything on the same floor would make my life a lot easier, and that's the main reason why I want to list it.
This 3-story townhouse is a big space for just 2 people. On the ground floor, there's a kitchen, and around the corner, out of eyesight, a dining room in the conservatory, which for Ruth and Ken feels completely separated. Squashed in between is a sofa in a dark corner. Upstairs on the 1st floor is the sitting room. Also on this floor are 2 double bedrooms and a bathroom. And up on the top floor are 2 more bedrooms, both en suite.
Despite Ruth's concerns, Ken sees no reason to move. He's a dab hand at DIY and has renovated the bathrooms, fitted a new kitchen and laid all the floors.
I can see that Ruth's not happy here with the space that we have. But I've spent a lot of time making the improvements we wanted, and I feel proud of it.
The family gather here regularly, and every Wednesday Ken and Ruth look after the grandchildren.
If we moved, I'd be sad. I'd hold on to the memories here. And we've had many, many happy years in this home as a family.
Pizza's arrived! Pizza's arrived!
For Ruth, the time has come to move on and make new memories in a new home. But for Ken, this home is where the heart is.
I think we have enough potential here. It just needs to be rejigged.
I think it would be better to move.
Couldn't agree with you more, Ruth.
Oh, Pip, you're not even in the door yet.
Very smart-looking townhouse.
It's a very smart-looking townhouse.
Yeah.
It's immaculate. Well, they're not selling because they've fallen out of love with it, that's for sure.
It's the doorbell.
Hello. Very nice to meet you.
Good morning.
Oh.
Very nice to meet you.
Hello, Ken. How do you do?
Thank you.
Who is team love it? Who is team list it?
I'm list it.
Oh,
and I love it.
So what's not working?
Well, I feel like the ground floor isn't working for me. It's not deaf friendly, it's very dark and very cold. Also, the garden is quite small. It's overlooked by the neighbours and I just don't feel comfortable out there, which is why I want to move.
When you say it's not deaf friendly, what do you mean?
OK, so in the layout, you've got the kitchen and the dining room, which you don't have eyesight over. Also, the living room is upstairs, which means I have to go upstairs to get his attention, go upstairs to tell him dinner's ready. If I'm downstairs, I feel quite lonely, quite separated from people that are upstairs. So it'd be nice to have the kitchen, the lounge and the dining area all in the same place. Eye contact is really important for communicating. So, yes, Kirsty, we need your help.
Having been here for 13 years, it's got to be time for a move.
Every day. I'm looking at properties constantly and trying to show them to Ken, but he's quite reluctant to move.
Can we have a look around your house?
Changing this house to win over Ruth is going to be a big challenge.
It is a classic love or list debate. Living rooms separate from kitchens, communal space, and it's in such good condition.
It's in such good condition.
I don't want to go mucking around with it.
I know.
And it'd sell actually really nicely now. I'm going to have a look upstairs.
I've got a healthy budget of £650,000 to find a home that ticks all the boxes for Ruth and will convince Ken to list it.
Yeah, their kids have all left home. They don't need all these bedrooms.
Well, that's a blow. Usually you look in people's garage and they're just full of rubbish and you think, great, I can use that space. But this has got a clearly super precious bike and a lot of very well organised DIY equipment. This is a proper multi-purpose garage and I'm not going to be able to shift this stuff elsewhere.
The key here is reconfiguring the interior. To do that, I'm going to need every penny of my £60,000 Love It budget.
Good job I didn't skip leg day at the gym.
Oh, all the way up on the top floor, plenty of stairs. Couple more bedrooms, very smart ones. Both got en suites. I mean, this is a seriously nice house, but it's not suitable for them. I can definitely find them something that is a lot more practical. That much is for certain.
It's a good-sized garden, really, for a townhouse. But I can see that probably isn't very sunny, and it is very overlooked.
even if I can magically reconfigure the inside, I can't make the neighbours disappear. But with stamp duty and moving costs at nearly £31,000, there's still a case for putting that money into the house instead. The problem is, I just don't know where to start.
In this case, I am on the fence, if not team list it, because I can see how this doesn't work for them. I really can.
Kirsty's stumped. Isn't it marvellous?
Could you use some of the garage?
No.
Could you extend it into the garage?
No.
No?
The garage is like the rest of the house. Well used, immaculate, purposeful, the whole thing. No. I'm struggling, Phil.
Shame.
Oh, Dad!
Sorry, did I say that? Sorry.
You're on thin ice, Spencer.
When am I not?
I'll be honest, I haven't resolved in my mind what I think you should do to this house to make it work for you.
But when it comes to the search side, should you list it, I'm going to need a good understanding of what you're looking for.
Definitely open plan space. Living room, kitchen, dining room, all on the same floor, not separated by floors. 3 bedrooms and a garden with privacy. I don't want there to be a house that can look into the garden. That would be the ideal house.
I've got this.
Ooh, looking forward to it.
Well, to steal a phrase of yours, if I may, I'm in clover. Great brief, nothing too complicated, open plan. He's happy to do work. 650's the budget. Doesn't want to be overlooked. Happy days. She's not happy about that.
I'm hoping that Kirsty can bring her great ideas to help us to convince Ruth to love it here.
I disagree.
In Surrey, Ruth and Ken are wrestling over what to do with their 4-bedroom townhouse. With their children all moved out, their home is pulling these empty nesters apart.
I don't think I could carry on living here. We need to move. Otherwise, I'll go mad.
Looks like I've arrived in the nick of time. Ruth is often isolated in the dark kitchen. It lacks natural light and feels separate from the rest of the house and the first floor sitting room.
I can see how this doesn't work for them. I really can.
The way to change Ruth's mind is to give this house the wow factor. She'd love that. The wow factor will make her want to stay.
I have a love-it budget of £60,000 and will need every penny to realise my ambitious plan. One thing is for certain, now is not the time for half measures.
I think the key to this is not to muck around. So, if you turn over, you will see your new house.
Before finalising my idea, I took advice from an architect that specialises in deft design. My plan is to extend the ground floor to create a new open-plan living, cooking, dining space, which will improve sight lines between the different areas. To increase the amount of natural light, there will be skylights in the extension roof and bifold doors running the length of the back wall. But that's not all. To flood the space with sunlight and open sight lines between the floors, my plan is to knock through the ground floor ceiling, lose the bedroom above, replace the exterior wall with large windows, and create a balcony in the first floor hall. It's a bold step that will certainly add the wow factor.
Wow. Wow, I'm lost for words. I think I'm overwhelmed with the plan. It's a lot to take in.
It's a lot to take in.
Just a fantastic idea. And obviously, people that come to the house, they'll be so surprised, you know. So I'm sure when visitors come over and friends come over, they will feel really excited about the space. And maybe we'll have more people over, maybe we'll have more dinner parties, more family over. Well, more cooking for you then, Ruth, with some help, Ken.
Who's going to tell Phil Spencer that he's gone from clover to game over?
The new design has the wow factor. She'll love it.
But at the same time, it is a big, big challenge as well.
Phil?
You never know. Phil might find that perfect house.
While Kirsty's plan is ingenious, it's far from game over. I'm just getting started. I have a budget of £650,000 to find Ruth and Ken a new home with wow factor. The deaf-friendly open-plan living and kitchen space is a must, as is a larger private garden, all within easy travelling distance for the grandkids.
Ken, if I find the right house for you today, will you have an open mind? Would you move if it was the right one?
Yes. I've got an open mind. And if Ruth can persuade me, then yeah.
Let's get started.
Exciting.
For my first house, I've chosen Reigate, a quaint town, 5 miles closer to their grandkids. With an abundance of high street cafes and shops and plenty of parks and greenery, it's a great place for the little ones to come and visit. I'm excited to show Ken and Ruth this 3-floor, 3-bed semi.
For the first house, it's brand new, never been lived in, and we are 5 minutes to Reigate. What do you think about being close to Reigate? And the look of the house?
Looks lovely, very nice and modern.
Ken?
It's got a driveway, which is great, but I can't see a garage. So there is a slight concern as to where I'll be able to keep my tools.
Let's get on in.
I'm confident when Ken sees inside, he won't be worried about where to put his tools. The breathtaking ground floor is an expansive open-plan space. The unobstructed sightlines allow for easy communication and socialising. Large windows in every wall flood the space with natural light. And just off the kitchen, there's a utility room. They don't have one of these in their current home.
Come in and see what you think.
Wow. The glass pane there looks lovely, amazing.
And the glass all the way around.
It's a lovely room, and the lights on the ceiling look great. And it definitely has the wow factor.
Good.
It's very deaf-friendly, 100% deaf-friendly.
Ruth, you could be cooking here, looking out into the room. Grandchildren are playing, you've got your eyes on them all the time.
It's a perfect room. Really ticks all the boxes for what we want.
This is going very well. Back in clover, Kirsty. Upstairs doesn't disappoint either.
Oh, it's a nice bathroom.
On the top floor is a double bedroom with a shower room alongside. And on the first floor, a further 2 bedrooms, one with a Juliet balcony.
Look at the window. That's a lovely view. I think we need some wardrobes along here. I love being able to see through the glass. It's so unusual. We can communicate through it. It's a lovely feature.
Now, the garden, there is no garage or tool shed. How would Ken cope?
I do think there's a possible solution, maybe having a shed.
Well, they'd have plenty of room. This garden is almost triple the size of theirs.
It's a nice and simple garden that gives us scope to do what we want with, and it's very private.
It was the privacy that was so important to you, because that's what you don't have at home. Because the house is so strong, it has gone slightly over budget. The asking price is $665,000. But that is an asking price. It's not a valuation.
I can understand why the asking price is $665,000. I mean, it's very impressive. It's wow, it's got everything that I want. It is perfect.
Ken's worried.
Sorry.
What an awesome start for Team Lister. I mean, such a strong house, totally suitable for them. Yes, it was a little bit over budget on its asking price, and it certainly could have done with a bit more storage. But both of those things I can work on. I'm just really pleased that they loved it as much as they did.
I mean, I do love my house, but coming here definitely changes my perspective.
Kirsty, I think I've got this in the bag after the first house.
The more you gloat, the happier I'll be when they love it. 5 months after I revealed my plan, the work is well underway. The building company, Ken and Ruth Hard, is managed by and employs deaf people, so the couple can easily communicate with the construction team on site. They've already knocked down the conservatory and started on the extension. In only 5.5 weeks, the external construction work is complete. Ken and Ruth decided not to go ahead with removing the ground floor ceiling, but they still want to maximise the amount of natural light, so they've fitted one of the biggest skylights I've ever seen. Now, with the internal work almost complete, they're able to get a feel for how their home will look.
I know Ruth wanted a well-lit kitchen. There we go.
Definitely. I can't wait for the kitchen to be fitted.
Do they look like a couple ready to list? I think not. This love it or list it tug of war is far from over.
The skylight is a massive wow factor, and it's made Ruth think she's going to stay. So I'm winning.
Hang on. Don't jump the gun. Wait and see.
No, I'm already winning.
Easy does it, Ken. Wait till you see what I've got in store for you. For my second house, I'm meeting them in Hawley. With its thriving high street and excellent transport links to London and beyond, it's a popular commuter town.
Have you had a bit of thought about that first house? What your reflections were?
The first property that we looked at slightly overwhelmed me. I knew Ruth would love it, and she does love it. So, yeah, lots to think about.
Let's go this way.
My first house was a hit, but was over budget. This 3-bed semi on a leafy cul-de-sac, however, is 25 grand under budget. But I still think it packs the wow factor they want.
The house came on the market this week, and they're asking $625,000.
That's great news. Really looking forward to having a look inside.
Well, let's get in there. This house is in immaculate condition. A spacious sitting room with a cosy fireplace opens up to the pièce de résistance, an extended kitchen dining area basking in the sunlight from the bifold doors and 3 skylights. While Ken's may be bigger, I feel these 3 work just as well. There's also a large utility room and a downstairs WC. Importantly, when main cook Ruth is at the hob, she'd be facing the dining and living areas, so there's great sight lines for communication.
The owners have renovated this.
Wow.
And it is beautifully done.
Such a lovely open plan space.
It's light, it's bright. They've extended it out the back here. Beautiful bifold doors out to the garden.
It's a lovely kitchen. I love the island.
Ken, can you picture yourself in here with grandchildren and family and things?
Yes, I mean, there's plenty of open space. I do like the layout. But imagine the dinner parties that we could have here and socialising with our friends, cooking, sitting at the table, barbecues in the garden.
This whole space is 35% bigger than yours is going to be.
Ken. We haven't finished the renovations in our current house yet.
Fair point.
I sense Ken's resolve ebbing away. He's coming over to team list it. Upstairs are 3 cosy bedrooms in excellent condition and a shower room.
There's no bath. There's no bath, and I like my baths.
The attention to detail here is outstanding. The sleek and stylish fixtures and fittings elevate this home.
It's quite small.
There's no wardrobes either.
Our bedroom is much bigger, but this is smaller. There's no ensuite either, is there? But it's a lovely view.
Ah, the view. Glad you noticed, Ruth. This amazing garden is a sun trap. The tall trees give it the privacy the couple want. Kirsty can't deliver that. At the end of the garden, there's a garden pod. It's currently used as a gym, but it could be Ken's workshop. Or maybe he'll get started on a 6-pack.
South-facing garden with lovely and long. In fact, it's 5 times the size of your garden.
5 times the size, wow.
And that at the end, so there's a shed, there's also a gym that's got power, it's got plumbing, be a brilliant home office, loads of uses.
It's my room. It would be my room for my tools. No, it would be my sewing room, my craft room. Yeah, we'll have to toss a coin.
On balance, though, all things considered, 625,000, no work to do. It seems to me that it ticks an awful lot of boxes.
Yes, it does. However, there isn't a bath and no ensuite bathroom, but we do have to make some compromises. But otherwise, it's a perfect house. I love the downstairs area. And we could have a hot tub outside instead of a bath inside. Yeah, maybe a hot tub.
I like your thinking, Ken.
I've got even closer to the mark with this one. I mean, come on, it's under budget. It's bigger. It's got a stunning garden. It's on a beautiful road, and they love it. This has got to be a list. It's just got to be a list.
Did you hear that, Kirsty? I've got Ken dreaming of a hot tub.
I hear you, Phil, though there are times I wish I couldn't.
It's 6 months since I was last here, and I'm fascinated to see how Ken and Ruth have dealt with building work, because they're so tidy and building is chaos. Oh, my word. Whoa. Right. It feels much, much bigger. Wow. That is a huge piece of glass. This is a massive amount of light. Oh, my Lord. I don't have bifolds at home, so I'm always incredibly impressed when I see these things. Look at that. That is a real indoors-outdoors room. That is a big extension, and it's also been beautifully done in what feels like a very short space of time.
The couple have decided to make further changes from my plan and swap the positions of the kitchen and living areas. So I'm here to help them with the layout of their units.
So first of all, wow. It makes the sky such a feature of the house.
We saw a room which had a similar light to this, and from that it kind of planted the seed to then put this in, and it's massive and it's brought lots of light, and we love it.
So this is going to be the kitchen. That's dining.
Exactly. What we had planned was for the kitchen to be in the other room, but after thinking about it for some time, we realised that actually the kitchen's going to be the hub of our home. It's where our family are going to come together. It's where we're going to spend the most time, is in the kitchen. So we decided that we would make this the kitchen element where we are now. We also have a lovely view of the garden.
How is this going to be laid out? Have you got a picture of the plan?
Yes, we do.
The new kitchen layout divides the extension in two with a breakfast bar. One side there is a cosy snug and the other the kitchen. But I'm worried about the size of the breakfast bar.
Do either of you know how long this is?
It should come up to here.
Okay, is this... Is
So there's space to walk around still.
Yeah, that's what's slightly worrying me, is there enough space to walk around? Because that does look very big. What's concerning me, straight up...
We have 1 metre available from the end of the peninsula to where the bifolds are.
But once a chair is in there...
Well, they'll be tucked under.
No, when people are sitting there. They're not tucked under so much when people are sitting. That's the only thing that's worrying me. OK, so that is a metre there.
I'm never happier than when I've got the tape measure out. I never leave home without it.
Has it already been made?
Yes, we will cut it ourselves, yeah.
I would put tape on the floor at that point, and then I'd put a chair there, and I'd try to live with always walking around that tape, never standing within that tape.
That's a nice idea, yeah, that's a good idea.
Every now and again, I do come up with one.
So it turns out it was wrong. No chaos. But I suspect Phil is also wrong. They're not going to be selling that house. What they've done is really phenomenal and has made all the difference in the world.
Game over, Kirsty? I think not. For my final property, I found a very special house in the town of Red Hill. On the market for £600,000, I think this 3-storey semi is ideal for Ken and Ruth.
It's a 4-bed semi-detached. It's under budget. It's got a good garden. Are you familiar with Red Hill?
Yes. Go shopping in Red Hill quite often.
I appreciate it's quite built up around it, but there is a particular reason I've chosen this house to show you. Let's go and have a look.
I'm playing it a little coy here, and you'll soon see why. On the ground floor, there's a large kitchen. And to the rear, the main living area, which leads into a sunroom. The garden will be more than 2 times the size of their current one once their renovation is complete. And there's also a garage for Ken to keep his tools in. But here's why this house is exceptional. On the first floor is a mezzanine with direct lines of sight to the dining room below.
This is the bit that I particularly loved about the house for you. That is the double height void.
Oh, I like that. Amazing.
Easy to get each other's attention on different floors. That is currently an office on the mezzanine level. I just really like this for you guys.
Yes, really like that. It feels very airy and bright in here, which is nice. I like the fact that there's the glass windows on both sides and the skylight windows brings in a lot of light. I mean, the light down here is amazing.
The kitchen's through that wall. It could very easily be opened up into one single room.
Wow.
Then I think you've got an awesome layout.
Very nice garden. Very nice size.
And a garage out the back. All Ken's tools, DIY equipment.
And there's quite a few trees in the garden, which gives you the privacy.
Unlike their current garden, where Ruth feels overlooked. The garden and mezzanine, Kirsty simply cannot compete with. On the first floor is the family bathroom and 3 bedrooms.
This is nice. I like this.
I love the space. I love the slanted roof and skylight.
Yeah, it's lovely.
How is it up there?
It's great. It's really nice. I do like it.
You can attract attention.
You know, if they don't buy this house, I think I might. On the top floor is the main bedroom and ensuite. with a walk-in overhead shower. A luxe touch.
Look at the windows.
Lovely light. It's really nice.
It also has a walk-in wardrobe.
Wow. It's nice and big. I'd easily fill this out with my clothes.
And rows of shoes.
Shoes, of course.
Is it somewhere you could see yourselves living happily?
It does look good. I do like the angle of the windows because it brings in a lot more light. It's a lovely house.
The reason I chose this house particularly is because of this void and the ability to communicate upstairs to down. And I know that's what you talked about when we first met, sat in your kitchen. That's what you couldn't do. And from what I understand from Kirsty, that's what you still can't do. At £600,000, it feels like it puts ticks in a lot of the boxes.
Yes, you're right. It does tick a lot of the boxes. But we're excited to show you our place and the work that I've put in there.
Ah, Ken, always quick to big up Team Love It. With this house, I've given Ruth and Ken everything they asked for. And what's more, with the mezzanine, I'm giving them what Kirsty proposed in her original plans. 2 birds with 1 house. At the end of the search, I'm pretty confident I've shown them some really strong options that would enable them to live in the way that they wish to do so. Go Team Lister. I think I'll soon be savouring the sweet taste of victory.
Oh no, Phil, it'll be the bitter taste of defeat for you. Expert DIYer Ken, ably assisted by Ruth, is taking on the challenge of fitting the kitchen himself. For me, that dedication means a love it victory.
Or they're keeping down costs to maximise profit when they sell.
Decision day is here, and 14 weeks after the renovation began, we're heading back to Ruth and Ken's townhouse in Caterham.
Do you want to know a secret?
Go on,
You're
then.
very observant, so you might have noticed it. I've actually got my wellies on.
You've got your wellies on.
It was so wet that it would have wrecked my shoes to walk out of the house in them.
Have you bought your shoes?
Of course I have. Yeah.
Here we are.
Dressed for success, Phil, I refuse to celebrate a love it victory in wellies.
Quite right. I've got my tucks in the boot.
I'm going to change my shoes in the house.
I should hope so too.
Do you disapprove of me wearing wellies?
I'd like to see you in your professional outfit.
Oi! You dress like a farmhand. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
How are you? All good.
Good. Come here.
Ken and Ruth's house was disconnected. Sitting room and kitchen were separated by stairs, and the dining room was in a cold conservatory. The couple were suffering from a breakdown in communication. Now they've had a breakthrough. And I'm not only talking about knocking down walls. By bringing the living area and kitchen together and extending into the back garden, I've helped this couple reconnect.
Oh, my word.
So what's been going on? I don't recognise it. I'm completely lost.
I know. It's completely different.
The kitchen previously was on that side.
Yeah.
That's gone. And there was a wall where you're standing right now.
Yeah. It's so different, it blows your mind.
Ken and Ruth's home wasn't deaf-friendly. They needed open lines of sight to communicate. And now, with their semi-open plan kitchen and living area, they've got it. It's been said you can't see round walls, but Ken has come up with a way to do just that.
So I made the mirror from scratch. There's 1 pane and then 2 panes at the side that are slightly angled.
So basically you can see what someone's doing and sign in the mirror.
Yes.
I love it.
Ruth is the main cook, and before she was facing a wall in a dark corner. Now, with the hob in the centre of the extension, Ken, their family and friends, can sit with her in the light and bright social space, gathered around an eye-catchingly large peninsula.
I won't deny that I had my doubts about a peninsula that was this big. But it's amazing.
I love that.
It's beautiful.
I think that's the biggest one I've ever seen.
It's the biggest one I've ever seen. It's spectacular. It's like having a view of the sea or the mountains.
It's like a picture, but it's an ever-changing picture.
An ever-changing picture, yeah.
Was it very expensive?
Not bad.
Not bad.
£2,000 well spent.
The extension is a triumph. I'm impressed not only by the clever use of space and ingenuity, but also the quality of Ken's craftsmanship. He's fitted flooring, assembled and installed the kitchen unit, and even found time to replace the toilet seat.
It's all very smart.
We made sure it was a matte finish.
Yeah.
God.
I think if it was a gloss finish, the reflection would have been too much. We'd need to buy sunglasses while we're in here if we had a gloss finish.
This obviously is the full Monty. And when this is open, which we opened it the last time I came here, you really feel the rooms in the garden. You know, you could have someone sitting in the garden, you could be cooking, they can see you. So you've got these lines of sight from there right through to the end of the garden.
When you came over previously, Ruth complained about there not being any privacy in the conservatory because of the glass windows.
Yeah.
However, now there's a lot more privacy in this space.
This renovation has been a labour of love, but for all their hard work, this house will forever be overlooked.
It's really easy to see that things have improved. But actually, some of the core issues with the house remain. And some of the houses that we looked at solved those.
Viewing the 3 different properties were a big eye-opener. The house that we saw in Hawley, it was a beautiful area and a beautiful house. The garden's 5 times bigger than the garden we've got here, and the price was quite reasonable. So it's a difficult decision.
You've put a lot of personal time and energy into this, not just money. But I always understand that when people decide to list it, it's not because the house has failed. It's often because they've seen a wider view and know more about what's out there.
It was very useful to see the kind of properties that are out there. We can't have everything that we want in one property. However, we do have to come to some sort of compromise.
I think we've got to the crunch moment.
Yep, we have. Are you going to love it?
Or are you going to list it?
Ready? Ready? Love it.
Of course. You've done beautiful work.
Ruth, when did you realise that you felt differently about this house?
Probably after the visit to Hawley.
Why was that?
It was such a lovely house, however, it felt too small upstairs. And I think that's when I realised I just love the space here, especially with the space downstairs now and what we've done with it. Just wasn't ready to downsize. And also the work that Ken has put into this place. The kitchen is a lot brighter now. The skylight window that we've got in place helps a lot. It's really transformed the space down here. Also having the mirrors up on the wall.
I think you should be really proud of what you've done here, because it's very, very good. And it's made it home.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations.
It's definitely more deaf-friendly now. You can sit there, you can sit here, you can talk to me while I'm cooking. The rooms are much more open plan. I did say before I needed to move, otherwise I'd go mad. But now I'm settled. I'm content now. I'm not going mad anymore. It was the best decision we ever made, and look at it. It's like a dream. Wow.
Here we go then.
Oh, don't sound so sad. It's been a
fair contest.
It's been a fair contest. Did you see that Ruth was quite emotional
I did.
when someone's not happy in their house?
Yes.
It's really bad for them.
Yeah.
And now she is happy in her house.
It was lovely to see.
That's as much you as me.
And I love the fact that she enjoyed how much Ken has put into the house.
Yeah.
And how much actual sort of toil he's done.
It's like I often say, Phil, it's a win-win.
I lose and then say it's a great result. This doesn't make any sense. Well done.